Jeremy. We've been wrestling this thing around here a little bit. It's time to get him in the boat. December 2nd, white bass fishing here on the Neosho River in Oklahoma, fishing with go-go minnows. And I tell you what, folks, you can do this all over the country, anywhere you have white bass, crappie, and maybe some hybrid stripers. These fish move up into these rivers out of these tributaries. We're fishing the upper end of Grand Lake here in northeast Oklahoma, and what we're dealing with is pre-spawn fish. These fish move up into these tributaries, and they kind of hold here all the way up into March and April when they make their spawning run, and you can have a blast out here in cold weather, warm weather like we got right now, out here fishing for these white bass. And let me show you what I'm using. I'm going to let this one go, and then I'm going to show you how we caught that fish. Now I'm using a 2-inch go-go minnow, curl tail, Fle Fly product, and I'm using a weedless jig head made by a company here in Oklahoma called Cherokee Lures. Pretty hard to find unless you're local, but the Cherokee Lures weedless jig head really works good fishing it around all these rocks and stumps and twigs and brush and stuff. And what we do is we just string that 2-inch go-go minnow on there. That's the clear chartreuse with silver flake. This is a 1/8 ounce head, and I've got a little split shot, about a 1/16 ounce split shot ahead of that. And all I'm doing is casting up to the bank, reeling off, cast up to the bank, reel off, just hopping these down the bank. We're going down these banks real slow, trying to catch these fish. So we're going to cast up to the bank, and I'm watching my line all the time. I usually use our tug-of-war high-vis line, 6-pound tug-of-war mono, but we came back from a trout trip this year, and I like the clear blue fluorescent line. I like it better when I'm trout fishing, and I've still got that on my rods. But all I've done is throw up to the bank, and I'm just hopping that down the bank, and those white bass will smack that thing. And sometimes all you do is you just see your line move, just twitch. You don't really see too much of a strike. And I even like to get it out here and just hop it along the bottom, right out here by the boat. We're in 17 foot of water, so I'm covering from about 3 foot to 17 foot. And folks, there's nothing hard about this. And I can promise you, all over the country in the wintertime, before this pre-spawn, these white bass move in to these areas. And traditionally, if you find some of these good spawning banks, if you keep working them, you can come back year after year and catch these white bass. Well, Jeremy switched over to the chartreuse, and he'd missed one, and now he's putting it on me. Oh, that's a lot of fun. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, if you've never fished with the go-go minnows, you just don't know what you're missing. I tell you, that is really easy fishing, and that old go-go minnow will catch all kinds of fish, won't it, Jeremy?
Yep, I tell you, boy, he's nice and fat. Look at him.
Look at that fish. We're going to keep that one. I had a text message from a guy here a minute ago, and he said, hey, could you keep me a couple of them cold water? Well, there's my phone going off. Nothing ever changes here at Outdoor Brands Videos. You know, we're always getting phone calls and text messages, but we're going to put that one in the live well, and hopefully we'll get a few more here in just a few minutes. Feels like a pretty nice fish. Now we're just using a high standard medium light 5'6" rod, and this is 4-pound line. Like I said, I usually use the tug-of-war high-vis 4-pound mono, but just a size 10 spinning reel. And with these little light rods really make a big difference on these light bites from these cold water white bass. Again, this fish came on the chartreuse. We've about determined that the chartreuse is the way to go here today. Just another really nice, big old fat Oklahoma white bass. And there's a lot of people sitting at home right now that love to fish, that need to come out here and enjoy this. Try you a 2-inch go-go minnow and learn how to bounce them off the bottoms on these pre-spawn white bass. Folks, you never know what you're going to catch on a go-go minnow. We catch catfish, we catch white bass, we've caught buffalo, we've caught trout, black bass. I mean, the catfish, the list just goes on and on and on of the fish you can catch on this lure. And they're so simple, they're very inexpensive to fish with, and they are a lot of fun. I'm going to put this one in the live well too. Hey, one of the things we get asked all the time at Fle Fly is how do you hook up your go-go minnow? Now this is really simple to fish with, but if you take just a little bit extra time when you're kind of worming this up on your hook, the performance of your bait is going to be a whole lot better. Now, when you look at a go-go minnow, they have a flat back right there, and that's where your hook needs to come out of the flat back. If you look at the other side, that's a belly, and you don't want your hook coming out of that side. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this, we're going to insert it right in the middle of our lure, and if you look, there's a seam. Try to show it to you. There's a seam right here. You're going to want to follow that seam with your hook until you turn that hook out of the back. So here we go. We're going to go down the seam. You can see I'm kind of watching my hook as it goes down that seam, and then I'm going to be real careful to bring this right out of the top of the back. You bring it right out of the middle of the back, then your lure will track exactly straight, just like that. Push it up there and bingo bango, you're ready to go fishing. Now, one of the things you always remember about the go-go minnow is you can't drag this lure slow enough to keep the tail from turning in the water. This is what separates the go-go minnow from lots and lots and millions of other soft plastics out there. You can't fish it too slow. That's the beauty of this thing, and we are fishing it slow today. Hey, I'm Jeff Williams with Fle Fly. Thanks for watching our videos. Everybody at Outdoor Brands really appreciates you guys watching the videos and purchasing these products from us. We do these videos to help you catch more fish. Thanks for watching.